When the economy goes in the opposite direction because of this blanket of fear that we're throwing over everybody here, what are we supposed to do?
He goes on, but we'll bring in now Judge Andrew Napolitano here. He is a senior judicial analyst for us. Judge, good to see you on this topic. So maybe there's some questions about the jurisdiction or the guidelines, if you will, that ICE can operate under. Clearly unhappy there in New Jersey.
Well, they did arrest Americans, one of whom was a military veteran. They let them go as soon as they were able to demonstrate that they're not subject to these arrests.
Yeah.
But to the mayor's point, they ought to show up with warrants, and warrants are available. Most of the people that they are arresting, there is already a warrant out for because of the probable cause that they committed a crime. Not that they're here illegally, but that they committed a crime. So getting the warrant is actually a lot more efficient way to do this and make sure you don't arrest the wrong people. So to his point, I think he's correct. On the other hand, some of these people will be arrested and deported before the issue of the warrant is even raised, and it'll never become relevant.
Okay, good point. Let's move now to another immigration-related story, this one out of Indiana,
yes,
where the state's attorney general has filed a lawsuit against the sheriff of St. Joseph County, this over allegedly failing to cooperate with the feds' illegal immigration policies. The Indiana AG asking a court to force him to cooperate in mass deportations. We've talked about it,
right,
but just remind us your view.
Sure. So the Supreme Court has said the feds cannot commandeer state officials. They can't force them to work against their will for the feds unless there is a state law saying they must do so. Indiana has such a state law. So this attorney general, in my view, is doing exactly the right thing, going to court, asking a judge to force the sheriff of St. Joe County, which is where South Bend and Notre Dame are, up on the northern tip of Indiana, at the border with Michigan, to comply with Indiana state law. Meaning, if you get a detainer, if you get a document from ICE saying you're holding so-and-so, do not let him go until we arrive, and you let him go, you are violating Indiana state law. That's the point of the attorney general, and I think that whoever the judge is should move very quickly on this.
Interesting point. And you're thinking here, we are a week from inauguration. Hard to believe that it's already been 7 days, and there's so much work that's already been done by ICE. They've released the most recent numbers right now, which have been updated this morning, at least by NBC News was able to report this. It's even higher than this. It's at, I believe, 2,681 detained. Again, more than 2,600 detained at this point. That is by NBC News. So the number continues to go up. That is 7 days into this new administration.
Well, we all know the president means what he says.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a remarkable start of tremendous, almost ferocious energy in the direction that he believes the American people want. Now, not all of these people will be deported.
Right.
Some have been deported already. We know there's a flight on its way to Colombia. Those people didn't have a hearing. They were arrested. They were put on a plane, and they were sent home.
Birthright citizenship, as it stands right now, we're waiting for more executive orders by the president today, by the way. Those have to do with military. But for the birthright citizenship, as of last week, we got an update.
Yes, on Friday afternoon, a federal judge, a Ronald Reagan appointee, who made the comment he had never seen anything so blatantly unconstitutional in his life, enjoined the president and the Department of Commerce and anybody else involved from enforcing the president's executive order. He has appealed that to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. They haven't ruled yet. In the meantime, it's in limbo. So if somebody has been born here during the presidency of Donald Trump, the week-long presidency of Donald Trump, they are an American citizen. It would be impossible for him to have reversed that.